Get it out of here.
Get it out of here. I always have to remember to keep the green up out there.
Turn that green light off.
Get that green out.
Put tape over it. You forgot how to count, everybody.
4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the show. Wildly Uninteresting Podcast.
Welcome back.
Number 154. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Hey guys.
Great to have you.
I'm not hyped.
Not hype?
No, I mean, okay, yeah.
I think after 154 episodes, you're allowed not to be hyped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
For some of them, at least.
Sometimes you just need more hype
I
button.
pooped 12 pounds before I came over, so I'm a little drained.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
You ever
I didn't make it to the toilet. I put it on a scale, so I know exactly how much it was.
Just shit on a scale. You ever wake up and then you shit like 4 times before you ever walk out of the house for work?
Yes.
I hate those
No,
days.
the most I've ever pooped
Really?
is twice before work.
Oh my
And then I go
gosh.
to work and have a third.
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
And then fifth.
it's pretty much.
Yeah.
What about fourth?
Fuck that.
No. We save
It's,
that for later.
It's absurd how much shit stays in the body,
Yeah.
you know? People
Yeah.
who get like colonoscopies and stuff, it shocks me how many times I go to the bathroom and how much comes out.
Yeah.
There's not supposed to be electricity involved in that.
Yeah, just hook them up, shock it out of them.
Maybe that's what I need.
Shock it out of you.
I like
Because
that.
it's never
Hold him
out.
down. Shock it out of his shit. Get him.
I wonder, you know, because we had talked about that when she had her colonoscopy, everybody.
One
When
of
you
many.
drain out all of that microbiome, the poop, all that stuff, everything that's working in there to make your stuff go, wouldn't that screw you up for quite a while until you build back those microorganisms in the bowel?
Probably.
I would think that it would have a huge issue there.
If anybody out there is a doctor, give us a call.
Right. I would assume that it would mess it up. I'm usually a little bit jacked up for a little while.
Jacked up.
So jacked.
Well, I read a thing that was saying about like mouthwash, right? Is apparently it's not great to use all the time, if like at all, just because when you put it in your mouth, you have organisms within your mouth that break down your food, breaks down other like germs and shit like that. So if you get rid of all that, then you have none. It's like washing your hands a bunch. It's why there's a huge industry of like sanitary things where you clean your hands and clean your body, but then you have to like moisturize after that to put back all the stuff you pulled out of your skin and hands. You know what I mean?
So you don't dry out and die.
Yeah.
Same reason why babies get sick more often if their parents are like really clean and wipe them down and everybody that touches them. Yeah, I mean,
Grow up healthy.
I think a lot of people that grew up in our era, they don't have a lot of those health issues like the kids are now because we played in the dirt. We ate the shit. Like,
Yeah. I used to eat grass. I remember specifically eating grass.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to. Like it was, I had to eat
That's
the
a good
grass.
enough reason.
Yes.
I
Definitely
felt like it.
There
a lot
was-
of supportive science behind it.
I would color with chalk and the little dust comes off. I had like Band-Aid used to, their Band-Aids would come in not like paper boxes, but they were like plastic. They were hard plastic.
Yeah.
I would scoop that dust up and put it in there because I liked how it looked. I'd put water in it. I would eat that shit. Absolutely. I liked how it looked.
Fantastic.
I wanted to eat. I mean, it's not like I ate it all the time, but I ate it one time.
Yeah,
I
but
wanted
there's
to
a limited
see.
supply.
Yeah, right. I ran out.
I
Couldn't get any more.
wonder what the rate is of patients with COVID and like bad health issues when it comes to our group of people. Maybe that's why it doesn't affect our age range as much as it does like an older one. But you think like older people, though, it's a weird one. They could have had a like very healthy immune system. Then as they age, you lose that anyway.
The old people are just dying anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's that.
Even if they just ate chalk and dirt all the time, they're still
dead
doomed.
quick.
Yeah.
That's I was wondering, like in China, Japan, even Indian cultures, like they really hold their elderly high. Like that I mean, a lot of your Indian families live together for a very long time, like, and then their kids live with them when they get old, and then the cycle continues, right? It's like a part of their culture. But in our culture, like when we're old, dude, like forget about it. People are just gonna like hit us with the car. They're gonna fucking they don't care about how old you're. If it ain't moving,
looks to the future
always.
Yeah.
But you know, that's something I was reading an article that was like, there's one of the groups of things, that and somebody being ugly. But one of the things...
I can't wait to hear what this is.
Oh, no. It's just one of the things that you can't make fun of somebody for. Like, that's the I don't know, the most incorrect thing you can make fun of somebody for, because
I thought you meant
we're
the
all
legally protected class.
No, that'd be awesome.
Crazy.
But yeah, you can't make fun of old people or getting old, because we're all in the process of it.
Right.
And, you know, I think back when I was 16 and like, God, I don't want to get 40's fucking old. And, you know, I'm approaching 40 and it's like, well, it's not that old.
It's old.
It is old.
Yeah. I turned 40 next year.
Yeah. I know.
It's old.
We were talking about it, and he asked, because I'll be 36, I guess, next week. And he asked, he said, is Ian going to be, 30? And I was like, 39? Is that right? It didn't sound right to me.
It's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
I went back to our first episode, which was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right about. And
I was my age.
You could tell. You can tell then. And then I look back like at a friend of ours when we first like started hanging out with them, and their little daughter at the time. I mean, she was like 3 or 4 maybe, and we looked younger. And then the kid was significantly younger, and now she's like, you know,
like a
little adult, dude. And it kind of makes you want to not ever take pictures of yourself or like the people you're around, because it's like you see a visual representation of time passing, and it's like,
you see how gross
terrible
they've become. God,
look how old they look.
I don't know why aging. I mean, when I found out, when I was turning 30, when I found out, like, I didn't know, like, I like freaked out a little bit, but like looking at pictures doesn't bother me. I don't know.
It's weird.
No,
Yeah.
cool with it.
I think
I feel I've just gotten fatter. That's it.
I don't even think my weight has fluctuated a lot. Presently, I'm not fat, but no, looking at pictures doesn't bother me that much. But I feel differently every time I age. Like, I'm like, ugh. But other than that, like, the rest of the time, it doesn't bother me. I don't know why the day of the birthday it bothers me, and the rest of the time I'm like, whatever.
Because it's a big passage of time where you're like, this is it. And I think when you were younger, all the people who made a big deal of it, you know, they're like, oh, how old do you feel? You feel older? And like now we're recognizing that, oh shit, like another year means more pains in my body, more heartaches, more trauma, more whatever, and we feel it more than we used to. So I think when you're younger, you don't recognize that, you know?
Right.
No. Because it's just, what can I smash myself into?
What can I break?
Yeah.
Can I jump in that bush?
Bush.
Yeah.
I remember, like, you know, always when your birthday comes up, like, you would get like fucked up, go out and drink, and you know, get hammered to the point where you can't remember things and stuff. And that, like, I think about that now, you know, when a birthday comes up, I was like, I just want to chill out. I want to, like, take a day off work and, like, do what I want to do.
No shit.
I want to take a day off from work, you know, and have people give me shit and then just get fucked up.
That's right.
If I remember it, so be it. But I definitely want to be a little more wrecked than normal.
I wish I could get fucked up the way I wanted to get fucked up. It sucks. There's so many ways to get fucked up, and I only want to do one, and I can't fucking do it.
It's the one. Maybe when you hit 70.
Yeah,
there you
for
go.
sure. Yeah.
I'm 70. Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah, when
Definitely doing it then.
When I'm older, I want to be that guy when I'm older, like taking mushrooms and you know, whatever else. Because, you know, the conversation around, what is that, ketamine and even MDMA, like, pure MDMA without taking it
the real stuff
abusively is like beneficial to people's health and outlook on life and their mood and all that shit. So if that becomes something that we move into and you can take it responsibly and be educated on it, like I'm going to be that 70, 80-year-old dude tripping off like mushrooms and Molly. Believe that.
Yeah.
But I mean, not too hard.
Ash be doing? He's tripping balls.
Have me just one room set up with a bunch of just like artistic things and just trip out.
I wish I wanted to do that. I would do it now. I have no problem with doing that stuff now. I just don't want to.
You just take it one step at a time. You'll find your old lady ways.
Yeah.
Old lady ways.
I was talking to Pam yesterday, and I was like, man,
song.
I can't wait to be a dirty old man. She's like, there are enough of those already. And I was like, yeah, but you think dirty old men don't die?
Yeah, right.
You gotta fill that space.
There are spaces that need filled right now.
Right now.
They're dying left and right as we speak.
All they do
literally.
is die and say dirty shit.
I was watching this thing about Stephen Hawking yesterday, and one of his things that he was like, oh, it's going to be the end all to humanity. Like one of, I think he picked 7 things that could.
What does he know? He worked for the WCW.
You don't know anything.
He was like, the world's population, we're going to become so overpopulated that, we raise CO2 levels so high that the world is just going to practically catch on fire, right? In layman's terms.
Yeah.
And I was like, a lot of people that you hear nowadays talking about population, they're like, we're in a steep decline, and the amount of people on Earth right now is going to be like the total sum of like the greatest number that's ever been on Earth is like right now.
42.
42 people. But it makes you wonder, like, so Stephen Hawking, was he right? Are we going to continuously grow? Like, we're going to go through this little decline, and then we're like, we can't let this happen. Yeah. Take rights away from women, bump up the babies.
Bump up the babies.
Bump the babies up.
Bump up babies.
Or are we in this steep decline, and then we're just going to level out at like 8 million, or 8 billion, 7 billion, 6 billion, something like that. So it's weird. Who do you believe in life? Do you just believe yourself?
I don't even believe myself.
I don't know anything.
I don't try. But,
yeah.
I try not to like stand behind anything. We've talked about that before. Like stand behind anything forcefully. Why would you ever?
I've been right about a lot. I've been wrong about a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been right and wrong about a lot.
Well, and Stephen Hawking's dead now, so.
Yeah. So if you can't figure out
him.
You can't beat life. You don't know shit about the future.
It's Stephen Hawking would have been a good one to put all of his memories and knowledge into a computer, a data bank.
That would be awesome.
You've seen that movie Source Code, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Can you imagine?
Saw that bitch in theaters.
I don't think I need to be here.
You don't. So if you like download all that stuff into a computer, let's just say, right, and then one day that computer is like, oh shit, dude, I'm a person stuck inside of a computer.
Oh shit.
And it starts to talk to you and like, hey, get me the fuck out of here. I'm stuck in this like weird code simulated bullshit, whatever. Do you kill the computer or do you like keep it alive for scientific sake?
Keep it alive.
Damn. Yeah. That's hardcore.
Science,
what would
baby.
You do?
I would burn it.
Literally, like with fire?
Yep.
Okay.
With a flamethrower.
Why?
Kill it now.
What if it's a part of an evolutionary process and it's necessary?
Yeah, like the pressure of, well, we've never been really good with pressure, have we?
What are you talking about? We get diamonds. We love pressure.
Wrong.
Wrong. Get out.
No, that's I've thought about that too, about like where do we go from here, because I feel like as a species we've stagnated and then just created wars against each other. They were like, hey, we figured out a whole lot of things, but let's just fight about everything, right? Yeah. So I think we have to move into a people that are like, get rid of the people who are not tolerant to the world, you know what I mean, like who are not open to things, who are not willing to listen and learn and blah 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 blah. But I think that we need to be more tolerant, we need to be more loving, compassionate, caring, and then we can move into a place of like technologically advanced.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be like, instead of like taking psychedelics and shit and being all like, oh, I've found the secrets to life, that's what it would be like to just wipe out the people that are intolerant and they won't learn. That's wiping out the idiots. But then a true path of enlightenment necessitates bringing the idiots and the assholes with us.
We don't need the true path.
What the fuck?
Just the most direct.
We need the American path.
Yeah.
Burn them.
Burn them for
them
sure.
bitches.
All right. That would be nice because then we could see more change in our lifetime.
For sure.
Plus, it would be cool to turn on like a A&E or something, maybe the History Channel, and just see like
Bodies
coliseums of
everywhere.
people on fire.
To be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
If anybody at the History Channel wants to reach out,
You want to see bodies burning?
you
Call
got 3
us.
producers right here.
I saw a bunch
We
of
got
bodies
all
I
the
want to see
equipment.
burning. Yeah, I watched that Vice thing with what are they? Like, I guess they're called Oath Keepers and stuff.
Yeah.
But Oath Keepers, groups like that are pretty much, let's just get it off our chest here. They're white supremacists. And I only say that because obviously, like, I went forth, and even the interviewer, I give it up to her. She was seriously just like unbiased, straightforward, blank face when they needed to be slapped. For sure.
What makes them white supremacists instead of just like religious zealots?
Oh, because their
the same
views
thing.
on like Jewish people taking over, that the white race is supreme and it's been our country and it's going to stay our country, blah, 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 right? And I would say that would be a white supremacist that wants to get rid of or at least oppress those who are not white Christian Americans, right? And then I got to thinking, I'm like, how fucking stupid are anybody who thinks that like, oh, this is the whites' country and we're Europeans, we're fucking like above all, right? How fucking ignorant and stupid of you, because this was the Indian, like the Native Americans' land, and you come in and pillaged it and stole it. That doesn't give you all absolute rights to this land.
No, but it does make you physically superior.
It does for a little while.
At a certain point in time. Like,
At the important point in time.
yeah, but we've moved on. And you're being
course.
phased out.
Yeah.
Oh,
You suck.
there's something else that I thought is
But it's
like,
not official yet. the scorecard says, yeah, you're probably fucked.
Yeah.
But
I'd like to see that scorecard that says, yeah, you probably fucked.
that's I fucking was talking to Sarah. I was like, if you lined up 100 black dudes and 100 white dudes, there's a clear,
what's the
obvious.
purpose for this?
There's a clear, obvious. Like if you took the average of their skills on both sides, like white people are not superior. We're just like. We've created loopholes that keep us in power. We've created like legal legislature.
Oh my God. How is that not superior?
I guess it's a little bit, but
We took the land from the Indians, and now we've safeguarded our power with laws.
how? Look,
With loopholes.
Loopholes! Loopholes and guns.
well,
That's all you
look,
need.
they took like they
Yeah,
knew
like black
Indians
people
didn't have
don't
guns.
They don't have loopholes.
They need
They
to
have
give.
guns. You don't need loopholes when you have bigger guns or a quicker hand.
But it's like an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, So like an ounce of loophole is worth like a pound of guns.
Whatever. Whoever has the quicker hand wins.
No,
For
but
going
look,
Old West rules, absolutely.
Yeah.
here's the thing, though. All the Indians, when they came over, did not have weapons. They had no means of producing weapons, right? So America has always been founded in fighting unfairly,
Well, they had,
but
like,
then
arrows and stuff.
painting
Yeah,
it,
they had weapons. They could kill the
tomahawks.
buffalo.
but painting it a beautiful color to make it seem like we're doing people a favor, or this is going to be better because it's going to be capitalistic. We're going to have a democracy,
Yeah.
and then you Indians, we're going to give you a plot of land.
We
in
can
the
take
place
their,
that
we
you
can
have.
take their land. They're godless heathens.
Yeah.
We can enslave these people to build our country. They're inferior monkeys, and that's the white way.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
what.
rough. Who do you think is going to take us out?
Ooh, I'm going to say internally, all the groups are going to get together. They're going to finally forget about like oppression and division. And I think that they're going to riot like a prison riot. I think that they're going to finally be like, well, time to fight
All
back.
of us together.
And if you take out the problem is if you take out like state government, right? If you take that out, you still have to deal with the federal government and shit, right? So you have to have a large enough amount of people who are willing to like be about it.
I was thinking you still have 49 other states to contend with.
Oh no, this is like if all states were taken over by their individual people, you would still have that federal government there waiting to like lock you up and
I'd say
reprimand.
the federal government would probably collapse after about 27 states.
For sure.
I think you're probably right, because like the federal government operates because the states operate. I guess, you know, we pay taxes and do as we're told. But that's what I'm getting at. I don't think it'd be, if it's not from outside of the U.S. beforehand, because I think that they're both viable options. I think it will definitely be from within, internally. Yeah. You fuck with enough groups, they're going to finally be like, let's all fight for this one purpose. And that's just to get rid of the system. Because if it fucked you all the way up here, right? Now, I think believing in the system is a good thing, because you want to believe in a system that has checks and balances and stuff. I think it's good. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But when the system's corrupt and they're overreaching, I think it's beneficial for you after like 200, 300 years of oppression, longer than that. Like, the system's not working for you, never has. So why even operate within it? Fuck it. Chaos. Fuck it. Man.
Chaos, man. Let's burn that shit.
But, you know,
I think fire today.
I don't know though. That's the white supremacists.
Like, are the Chinese gonna kill us? Is it gonna?
Yeah, probably.
I was trying to think of like, you know, who it would be, but
like World War III will just be white people versus everybody else.
Yes, yeah.
And then and then you're gonna have a bunch of people in tanning beds, and they're gonna be like, no, I'm
not even white, man.
I'm Native American.
Your
cheekbones are weak.
I think what?
Oh, I just feel like it's gonna be like some white dudes, a few white chicks, and then it's gonna be like everybody else. There's gonna be like a lot of white dudes on the other side, and a fuck ton of white chicks on the other side also. There's gonna be a very small group of whites that are like fighting against everybody else. Right. It's gonna be
there's white dudes, white chicks, and white people.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of people who don't choose to fight with white people or choose to be neutral, but
fighting against
unfortunately,
white people.
We talked about, it's that even people who are not racist don't claim to be and don't even have that thought in their brain, right? We have been taught in such a way and taught in school, and just like our family histories and backlogs of racism and all this other stuff, especially in southern states, right? That we don't recognize these like internal fucking cues that we have when you're walking alone in an alley and there's like a black guy, something like that. So I think that that's why the Q movement got so big, because even people who say they're not racist and don't feel like it, when their like superiority was brought into question, it triggered that thing that I'm talking about, where, you know, we've been implanted with this fucking, you know, whatever, entitlement. And then we're like, well, fuck that. You know, I'm going to go join this group. I'm not racist, but I'm not going to be replaced.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I can understand the desire to not be replaced,
right?
If it were actually happening,
right?
But I don't know. That made me think, like, you know, with the idea of racism. Like, if you see a black dude walking down like a dark alley, and you're like, oh god, everybody's like, you're racist. So whenever like black kids don't feel as beautiful as like the white kids, is that then the black kids being racist towards like their own people? They're like, I'm of the mindset that we're all inferior to this. It would be like it wouldn't be like superior racism, but it would be like still in that camp.
Yeah, I think it's like internalized. I don't know if it would be called internalized racism.
I would say, like internalized, like self-racism.
Yeah.
It's like a white-hating Jew or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
It's,
I think they actually have a name for that. I don't know what it is, but definitely.
Because there's
the same realm.
Either way, let's fix it.
Yeah, I know. It would be great. Yeah.
Black kids are lovely.
Well, I mean, there's literally places that have, like, rules against, like, what your hair look like. So if you have ethnic hair, it has to look a certain way, or you like can't go to school there or can't be employed there. Like, you can't have natural hair, or you can't go there. That's absurd.
Yeah.
suck my dick.
Suck it.
I don't want to fucking come to your place then. Like, but that's a very real thing. Like, shit like that is nuts.
Yeah. But then,
Doesn't
it's
help
like,
the situation.
like objectively, I agree. I'm like, this is horse shit. Just let them have their fucking hair.
Yeah.
But, whenever I read the high school guidebook or whatever about dyeing your hair and it wasn't in there, and then I dyed it and they were like, you can't do that. I was like, it's not in the book.
Yeah.
From a subjective point, like, fuck it. I don't care. They told me I couldn't do my hair, and I'm white, so they're just a bitch about everybody's hair, is my point.
Yeah, but that's different. You changed your hair. This is how someone's hair naturally looks, and they're not allowed to have it.
I know, but the point was that it wasn't in the rule book.
Oh,
there was nothing saying I couldn't do it.
I gotcha.
And then they said I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if they don't like it, and that's indicative of your government as well, if they don't quite like something, then they create like a rule or a law, if you will, that's just like, well, now that thing that everybody did at one time is now illegal, weirdly. And I think that it's the same argument with like ethnogens. Is that how you spell it? I say it? Ethnogens? Psychedelic plants, plant medicine, things like that. They call it
I don't know how you say it.
ethnogens.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But so, when they waged a war against things that grow in the ground and that are naturally occurring and you don't have to do anything chemically to, and they change your, way of thinking, for a very long time, none of these things were mentioned. And a lot of them, you could, even MDMA, you could call a number and order from like magazines and stuff. It wasn't like it was hard to get. Right. And then all of a sudden, because people use them and they were detaching themselves from society and they didn't want to go along with the status quo, like, we have a problem. Now let's, do the American thing and declare war against them.
Right.
That we lost.
Out of here.
We lost that just like we lost the Vietnam War. But we still claim to kind of won that, but we really lost
left on our terms.
Yeah, we left when we wanted to.
Right.
Fucking whole cities were living underground. We did not know. It's just like, what fucking war was it when guerrilla warfare was first encountered? Was that...
I think Vietnam.
Yeah, I feel like it's Vietnam.
It was earlier than that, because they were hiding in like the bushes and stuff. They didn't fight like the redcoats. You know what I mean? They fought in lines with a drummer and blah, blah.
Like the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, it was like won or lost.
It was where you had like the farmers fighting the British.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so they were hiding in trees and bushes and shit. And the redcoats always met in lines, and it's a fair fight, and we're
Don't
gentlemen.
You dare leave the drummer out of this.
Yeah.
But we're losing.
And yet, Americans lost the Vietnam War because we were not prepared for motherfucking whole cities underground fighting in fucking tunnels, bro.
Nobody's ready for that.
Yeah.
Nobody's ready for that. And that's why I feel like we would lose against like China, right? Because they can survive on a lot less than we can. As far as like food consumption and things like that, they don't have to have these material things. Fucking Americans, although I think that they're very strong and we have a great military and we're technologically advanced and shit like that, we're not prepared to do it, say, if our whole electrical grid's shut down or if, an EMP goes off and it takes out all of our commands
to do it as a military body.
Yeah.
But as a populace, no, we're doomed.
The populace,
it doesn't matter. So the military wins, and then the political leaders come out of their bunkers at the end of it. And they're like, we did it.
Yeah. We did it. Come on, fellas.
And then they have their reduced population. And then,
win-win for everybody, I suppose.
Yeah.
Weird stuff, dude. That's what it always bugs me though. I think though, going back to like that, the white supremacist mindset and the mindset of like this growing fucking thing that's happening, like we're reverting back to to an earlier time.
Shit pot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fucking terrible shit pot, bro. Yeah. And the thing is, when you're and I can't believe it's taken this long to realize that, physically speaking, and then athletically speaking, and then there's a lot of ways that we're insuperior. Is that a word?
Inferior.
We're inferior to
I like insuperior too, though.
Yeah.
It works.
and I'll speak of like specifically white males, right? To black males, and I think that's where a lot of the hate comes from, right? We gotta be better. I gotta feel like I gotta be better.
And nobody's down in Japanese dudes.
Exactly.
So I'm taller than all of you.
You don't ever hear that fight. You hear a lot of racism on one side, and then they punch a bunch of Asians after COVID and shit, right? Because they're just like, we're getting ours back, and they were very ignorant in ways.
Y'all killed my auntie.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I think that the root cause of all this is because of pride, ego, and that need to just feel like I am the leader of said household. Like, this is my woman and my kids, and sawed off, is that the word?
Imagine you're playing like Mario with somebody, just as an example.
Yeah.
You're playing Mario with somebody. And
I'm playing Mario with somebody.
thank you. And you have 7 lives, and every time at the beginning of the level, you get the little raccoon tail.
Yeah.
And the other team has 1 life and has to work for the raccoon tail.
Yeah.
And now they want to take your lives and the raccoon tail.
Yep.
No, I'm comfortable, bitch.
Comfortableness.
Leave me alone. I'm superior.
Even if
you're
they're
not.
playing the same game too, and they're on the same team, and then you actively, that other group that you're talking about, actively sabotage the one. Because I've been playing games with those type of people that are extremely good, and all I want to do is sabotage them, even though I'm on the same team, just so you don't look better than me. Especially if there's a girl in the room. Son, watch yourself.
Watch yourself.
Take that raccoon tail. But yeah, it's a good metaphor.
In retrospect, kind of wish I would have gone with the frog costume because people could read into the raccoon tail.
I
Oh
like
shit!
the frog costume. It's just because it was cute.
Yeah. I like flying around.
But
I think
the
that-
raccoon tail, I think, is more common in the game.
I do too.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that fucking thing a lot.
Yeah.
It made me angry though to watch that Vice thing, which I think.
You need to stop watching Vice.
No, well, see, I don't
You need
just
to not
watch
tell
Vice.
my man what to do.
I pick.
As soon as I said it, I was like, yeah, maybe I need to walk that back.
There's other things that I watch. See, I talk about Vice because I think that they like, my opinion floats more towards I don't agree with white imperialism. I don't agree with the things that they go forth and talk about, especially like right now because it's very prevalent. But I do, in fact, go and watch 2,000 Mules and things that Mike sends me and things that other buddies that are on that side send me. That way I'm not being this biased leftist or what are they called? You're in the middle, but you think all things should just be you're liberal. A liberal moderate, a left moderate.
A libertarian.
Yeah, just something that I'm not like a centrist. I don't give a shit. Like, whatever. I don't want to be one of those, but I'm just neutral. I'm Switzerland over here. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I go forth and watch it. I just think it's ignorant for white people to fight for a country that is their birthright, and this is our home. And in reality, it's not. It's the people you backed into reservations and put all these rules and stipulations on their fucking livelihood.
Right.
So I think that's
But then with the idea
beneficial
of
to
a
bring up.
birthright, I mean, it is. You were
Well,
born
I mean-
here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Now it would be, but in the retrospect,
if you want to bring to the table the idea of answering for the sins of the father, how far back are we going to go?
I think it's ridiculous. I didn't fucking do anything wrong.
Exactly. So it's our birthright. We're Americans.
It is our birthright.
It's white America.
It's also everybody else's birthright that's born here, no matter what they look like or do in their life.
Indeed.
everybody's
Yeah.
American.
So if we bring back an American identity, then all is well.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what all this is a reaction of. Like, we're trying to fill the vacuum of not being Americans anymore, and we're redefining what America is.
Yeah.
So
I can agree with that.
it's like whenever we were kids, we would just battle over like, I'm the older one, you know, whatever the fuck you were on about. And
God only knows.
you know, we're just trying to find a balance, because I mean there are enough people, especially like in my personal life, that I encounter on a daily basis. If they're racist, they're really good at hiding it.
Right.
Most people I know are just like, yeah, we're all people, man. Let's just get along and shit. So it's like people in Sector A are cool with people in Sector A, but then Sector V over here, you see like 2 or 3 people that make it onto the national stage, and everybody's like, we need to tear down Sector V because they got 2 or 3 assholes. And then it just kind of affects everybody's thing.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's another benefit to not paying attention to media in general, and just like going out and dealing with people in your community and at a local level, because you're absolutely correct. I don't see a lot of it, right? And I have an abundant amount of people who are on all sides, and I just don't see the things that like the news or like fucking whatever. Even we went to that protest, you don't see the amount of hate or things going on, people getting hit by cars, and like just so like another group on another side that are yelling at the other side, and then they're fighting about it, and you don't see that, but you'll see it all the time on CNN. You'll see it all the time on Fox. You'll see it all the time on Vice.
You'd think the whole world was fucking on fire and burned to the ground. I mean, I'm sure shit's happening places, but it's not.
It's not prevalent.
It's not chaos everywhere.
Yeah, you got a world full of almost 8 billion people. Inevitably something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then you hear about it halfway around the world, and people are like, oh my god, it's every day. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And it
No, it
gets too
happened
much
one
airtime.
time.
Yeah.
You dramatic bitch.
I think these things get too much airtime as well. They don't highlight. I wish we would move into something like that. They don't highlight enough good in the world, and that's why we're in this situation, because it doesn't get views, right?
Yeah.
I think if they highlighted things that that the James Webb Space Telescope is like doing, and what these crazy inventors are sticking their neck out to do, I think that we would move forward into to bettering ourselves.
So then with that, what the hell is it about humanity as a whole, or at least people that are on board with like consuming news media? Why is it geared towards the negative?
I got an answer.
Why
for
are
you.
we eating that shit up so hard?
Got an
That's
answer
all
for
people
you.
care about. I mean,
But why?
But why?
Here's the why. You hear me? And I don't care how much one person loves their life, right? And they seem to be content in loving their life. But in reality, deep down inside, whether they can admit it or not, life sucks dick.
Yeah.
It sucks for the majority of people. Even those who are a little bit wealthier and that can afford the nicer little house or whatever, life sucks dick. And whether you're willing to admit it, and I know there's joy and there's happiness within, I get that. And you can see the beauty. And I'm a depressed person, so I see a lot of like none of that.
But I think the balance of sucking dick outweighs the beauty.
Right. But people are not willing to admit it because we all want to put on this fake front that, oh, life's so good and my life's so perfect. Right. So that builds inside.
Instagram life.
Yeah. And you keep it behind a locked door in the back of your mind because you don't want it. And it's the same place where death and dying stay, in that room with death and dying. And then every now and then, like, those things leak out, right? So in order for you to keep that door locked, what you have to do is you have to watch shittier situations than your own.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes in, where you watch that shit, you get hype, all this stuff. You get to release that anger and that aggression of your own situation because you're, watching it on another side.
All right, so people watch like movies and TV shows for positive stuff because traditionally it's going to have a happy ending. Even in the heat of the horrible, it's like, well, it's gonna be okay. This person has plot armor, it's okay. And then they watch the news, they're like, well, at least I'm not over here on fire with
because those are real people going through like real life, same as them, born from their mother, fucking grew up, whatever. They're a human. When we watch a movie, we don't see humans, we see these actors it is a perfect situation. So now instead of like keeping that door locked, now that door is good, I want to go watch something that just makes me feel like, the possible is possible, that I can see this happy, and then I can try to emulate this happy life. And then so goes the cycle of trying to keep that door
all
closed.
of this crap, it reminds me, it's all essentially the same thing. It reminds me of a logic scenario that was in one of my classes, you know? And because it's like, all right, well, white people want to hold black people down, the rich people want to keep the poor down. It's like the idea of, if you have one person locked away in a room that nobody ever sees, they never come out, and they're tortured and beaten and they suffer, but everybody else is happy. Mm-hmm. Would you leave them there? Would you free them?
Ooh.
And, at the time I thought, oh, no, fuck them, man. I don't care. I'm happy. That's all you need.
Does releasing them ruin everybody else's happiness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just equalizes the playing field.
Okay.
And it would bring it to the light, I guess.
Then
suffering.
Not everybody would suffer on the same level as the person in that room.
It would make it reality as we know it, essentially.
It would... No.
Oh, okay. I imagine it as like a utopia with one dude suffering.
It would kind of start that way, because I just think like how far we've come from things. So, yeah, because it would pretty much be like a utopia. Mm-hmm. Like everybody just has everything they want, everything they need. The sun's out, the birds are chirping, and there's rain over here if you want it. But, you let that guy out, and then, it's just the world as it is, without all of the structures and the systems and, and all the head starts. So, I always thought, but now it seems like most of the world would leave that dude in there to suffer.
For sure. No one would even think about him.
And then if that's the case, it makes me feel like it's just going to be that way for generations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have come a long way, like from the days of like Rome,
yore,
and the days of yore, and so we're slowly getting there, like 1,000 years at a time.
Right.
I think
it's some time for sure.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I think the only way is going to be forcible change, right? So like wars are. Like the government, sadly enough, the government implementing these laws and these, just forcing it. Like they're going to have to force, like just like with climate change and the things that are going on and the more prevalent wildfires and these, each day in, Europe, each day in Europe breaks the record from the last day, and those records break the records since record keeping has been kept since like 1600 something. Fucking way back, right?
Right.
So I think like with that, the whole world's gonna start burning. We're gonna be so hot that we can't go outside, or the sea level is gonna rise so much that entire cities are wiped out and stuff. And then guess what we're gonna do? We're like, well, now we have to change. And not only do we have to change, but it's gonna be 10 times harder to do so than if we did it gradually before. Right. And a lot of people's mindset are like, well, the damage is done. We're beyond that point of like no return, so just ride into the wheels fall off. Yeah. And even if you're not willing to admit that, that's exactly what we're doing, because you still go to work, you still run the AC, you're not willing to make change because you're like, well, nobody else is, and we're way past the point. Fuck it, right?
Yeah.
So same with that.
I'm not gonna be hot.
Yeah. And that's the deal, man. That's the same with what's going on right now. I think socially, and then with the whole movement of people not wanting to go to work and do things that like their fathers did and shit like that, they're gonna gonna be forced.
But then even with that, like their fathers were paid more,
right?
With the ratio there
substantially.
Yeah. So it's not that people don't want to work. People don't want to be underpaid,
right?
Yeah,
and abused by their
like
employers. Yeah.
Now, that's where like the forced change will come. Like I think that hopefully, if they can stay, strong and steadfast, they can win this one, because we have to.
But at what point are people going to get tired of living in squalor for a cause?
I know, and I think quickly. Sadly, no. I think a lot of your things where people were.
I think Mitch McConnell thinks it's until people run out of stimulus check money.
Oh yeah,
that's stupid. Did you know that motherfucker's 80?
Dumb.
Oh God, dude.
And Vince McMahon, who I assumed had more fight than Mitch McConnell, has now stepped down.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So, he's 77. He's out. Wrestling is going to be TV 14 again. And Mitch McConnell is still
He's still
in
going.
Congress or whatever.
Good Lord.
When
It's
will...
ridiculous.
God, I just hope his bowel fucking gives out. Or I
His
hope he
bowel.
becomes
You're
incontinent.
So obsessed with colons and bowels.
Dude. I mean, that would take a
You
runner
gotta
up.
move.
How can you be in front of Congress when you shit in your pants, you know?
A diaper.
You be in the
No.
middle of a filibuster. You just commit.
Commit.
I will not
shitting
stand in
myself.
this poop too long.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that you're absolutely correct. I think that a lot of Mitch McConnells need to be taken out of government for sure. They need to be replaced with younger minds.
Let's go back on the environmental crap for a second.
Yeah.
Because, there's the idea of the younger dryas, where there was that event, 11, 12,000 years ago where the climate changed dramatically in about, 5 years. What the fuck caused that? We don't know.
We don't know.
What if we're in that? It's another thing like that. And everything is just changing rapidly. And I kind of thought, if you live in a house where you have, like you guys both have your own musical systems. You're playing your songs loud, and then there's a fly in the house. And you both pause your music for a second, and he's just like, why is he so fucking loud? He's adding to the loud. And then you turn your music back on. Your music would be the natural changes that occur. And then the fly would be our contribution to it.
Right.
No, I'm not saying this is right. This is just, hey, maybe, man, what if, So what if it's just naturally occurring, and the whole thing of arguing about who's to blame for it is just a way of keeping us distracted from the inevitability of the horribleness.
Completely plausible.
Could be. Yeah.
That's definitely,
But it also might not be.
that's more well
No
thought
idea.
out than
The businesses.
the majority of thoughts on the situation is more well thought out, because in general, unfortunately, humans have to have an explanation for absolutely everything.
Everything.
Right, wrong, and different.
Yeah.
It has to. We have a lot of wrong answers right now in science and in medicine and in people's livelihoods. It's a shitload of wrong answers, but we're just driving them home and seeing where it takes us, right?
Yeah.
Same with that. They know that CO2, raises emissions. They know that an abundant amount of it will raise heat and all that. And we're pumping shitloads a day. Not even about a minute. We're just fucking unloading, right? But you're right. It's completely plausible that it's absolutely natural and our CO2 doesn't make a difference. And the earth would balance itself out otherwise. But these little natural flies that come through are going to just heat shit up real fucking tough for a while. And then fall off.
Real tough.
Yeah.
I like that.
Completely plausible.
Tough heat flies.
And that in turn, but I would hate for that mindset or that, theory to drive us into a place where we're all right, well, we'll just see how it goes. And then 5 years from now, everything's on fire it is right now. I mean, there's airport runways are melting in Europe because it's so fucking hot. The heat wave that's going on right now.
Also, Europe's pathetic, and they don't know how to build runways.
I would say they're going to have to rethink them from here for sure.
Whoa,
But they,
word choice.
I had a friend that went to where's
France.
that place?
Germany.
Yellowstone National Park.
Oh.
Yosemite National Park.
Yeah,
That's one.
Yosemite.
And apparently they couldn't go, but it just a very select few places because of how many wildfires were going on around them. And then in California, and then I looked in Bolivia, South America, South America, all that shit. Oh my God, the whole fucking rainforest has been on fire since August 13th. Every day there's a new one. Eventually there's going to be no more rainforest to burn because there's so many. And then when you look at the fire map from August 13th till now, literally there's not a place on the map that hasn't been affected by some sort of wildfire, little to big and huge, massive. some of them.
Yeah.
It's just wild. You're gonna get to a point where there's not enough people to like work to fix it.
We're in season 6 of Grey's Anatomy.
Nuh-uh.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. All right. So you know that wrestler, Danhausen.
Yeah.
I told Couch about him because I was all excited. He fucking knew who he was.
Of course he
I
did.
was like, how did you never tell me about him?
Couch knows everything.
He does.
And he keeps it all to himself.
It's annoying.
He's selfish.
He is selfish.
You're selfish,
You
Couch.
selfish
I'm going to
bitch,
look at
Couch.
every single camera. You're selfish.
I'm just gonna look at that one that doesn't even look like it's on. But
Oh, it's on.
look there,
It's
boy.
on like
It's
Donkey Kong.
on. That's right.
Yeah,
Of course he knows about him.
that motherfucker.
Yeah.
His reason for not telling me was like, "Oh, you're about to be a dad. You know, you have different interests. Like,
He's
you
an
think my kid's not
idiot.
gonna watch wrestling?"
I know. You think my baby's not born? Do you think I'm sitting here thinking about only
I
the
know.
baby?
Oh my god, what's he doing right now? What's he
What a
thinking?
fucking idiot.
I'm gonna jam some paper up there. Draw me something, boy.
Jam some paper up there.
You know, if he's coming to fruition in the Casper womb, he's gonna have some artistic abilities.
Oh, he's definitely going to be fucking very artistic.
But whatever, man. I was upset with Couch. But either way, Danhausen.
Yeah.
That dude is fucking awesome. Did you see him?
Mm-mm.
Ah, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dude, he is like the coolest wrestler ever.
He wears a cape.
He wears a
What?
cape.
Yeah. He
He's
also
got-
looks like Gottmik,
Halson.
Let's get
Oh, he
the
looks
drag
like.
queen.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Look at that fucking smile, dude.
Yeah, dude.
My
I love
lord.
him just by looking at him. I love him.
Or comparisons to like Pee Wee Herman.
Oh yeah, I can
Made
see
me
that.
happy. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, you know, I just loved it. God, when the dude said like he comes to the ring sometimes with like a jar of teeth.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He dumps them in the dude's mouth.
I was about to mention that.
So,
What's
like,
up with that?
He'll dump them in the guy's mouth and then kick him in the face and the teeth fly everywhere. It's like, that is fucking
That's well
cool.
thought out.
Plus he curses
That's
people.
well thought.
I watched a match. He was like wrestling with this dude. It was a tag match. It was him and Hook versus these two dudes that I don't care about. And Hook is, I think he's Taz's son.
Yeah.
And he did all the work. But Danhausen was over in the corner. He was like, "Come on, man, tag me in. And he went over and he just, no, he was like, all right, cool. So, I mean, you could tell like they're dudes. They're cool, you know? And he went over and he tagged Danhausen and he came out and he just put his foot on the dude's chest and they won. And he was like,
It's awesome.
that's
That's
so
a good backstory.
Hell yeah, dude.
I like it.
And like his behind the scenes shit, like he's funny. But like some of the moves I've seen him do, he does some pretty sick shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's definitely got the skills.
I gotta watch this guy's everything.
He's
Earth
awesome.
thing.
Yeah, his Earth thing.
All right, so I wanted to tell you guys a story of what happened at work the other day.
Uh-huh.
So I was in the parking lot, you know, like I do, and then Dave was outside, like he does, and I went over to talk to him, like I do sometimes. And but like normally I would go inside, but I thought, you know, I'm gonna see what Dave's doing. So I was talking to Dave, and then Shane came out, and we started talking, and while Dave is talking, I hear, and it's approaching,
Yeah.
and it gets louder, and then I look up.
Panther.
It's a car riding on rims on two sides, being chased by like 7 cop
That's
cars.
fucking
Motherfucker.
awesome.
Yeah, dude, it was so good. And then there was like a police helicopter, and then they got out of sight. I don't know what happened.
Damn, you
But it
should've
was so
followed
fucking
them.
cool.
Yes, dude.
Was it so you were at work though? They were coming into your parking lot?
Yeah, they were just like out on the main road there.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's badass.
Yeah,
So I feel like they weren't going very fast.
it was like as fast as everybody else.
Really on fucking rims, bro. God,
It's nuts.
how crazy is that? You only see those type of things every once in a while, but they're glorious, man.
Yeah.
Because at first I was annoyed. I was like, I can't hear Dave. What the
Yeah,
fuck
what
is this shit?
This?
But yeah, it was
become
totally
glorious.
worth it.
Fuck, dude. That's I've always wanted to see. I want to see a shootout, but there was
Yeah,
a
dude.
shootout in Texas, maybe, where they had the cops like rolled up. Oh, it was that delivery truck. The guy stole that delivery truck with the delivery truck driver in it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I vaguely
And then-
remember this.
Yeah.
They fucking blow this thing to pieces with the guy in it, and they kill the cops,
Yeah.
kill the hostage and the guy that was robbing the truck, right? But the people that were in the like the lane, the stopping lane, way down the way and shit.
Yeah.
So they come up and they're like filming it with their phone, and then all of a sudden you start hearing shots, and then you start hearing these bullets hit the side of this fucking car. These cops had no like regard for human life at that point. They were just shooting shots.
Yeah, God, I forgot all about
shots.
it. Didn't they shot like hundreds.
Yeah. And the guys in that were taking the video, man, they were just like, oh, fucking, and you see them getting down and stuff, and you hear all these bullets hitting the car. They got so close to fucking dying that day over just being in the world. But I want to see a shootout, but I don't know if I want to see a shootout. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if I want to be in that.
It's like when we showed up for the thing with Lance, you know, and we had just missed it.
I know, man. I wish I could. Remember, we were driving in Portland. I was working like after hours.
Just fucking out the window. We drove past it, and he just hung out the window. We saw him, and which I didn't see him actually shoot anything, but he had his fucking gun hanging out the window. We're like,
there were like 6 shots. Man. They were in a.
Was he creeping all slow?
No, he was in a parking lot. So, he was in a parking lot, and he fucking
flying through a parking lot.
He fucking. We were driving like 6 at night. It wasn't even that late. And the dude's just like hanging out of the back of the window. You can see the gun in him clearly, and just like 6 shots, and just sitting there. And I was looking, and Sarah's like, "Drive, motherfucker!"
I know he's driving all slow. It's like I don't want to be face to face with this guy.
No,
please
I handed
go.
the keys back to the slumlord. I was like, "Bro, I can't work down here, especially if I got to come after I leave work." At night, nah, fuck this. I don't want to be down here. I was like, I'm not scared of it, but I don't want to like deliberately put myself in this situation. You know what I mean?
It's not ideal.
No, not quite.
Pass on that one.
Man, where the hell was it? There was like another cop situation. I want to say it was like in the Southwest, like Arizona, New Mexico area, maybe. But there was
New Hampshire.
Could have been New Hampshire. But, you know, the cops were chasing this dude who went into this building. And they were, they were like, everybody, get out of the building. Mm-hmm. And they, eventually threw in like some flashbangs or something, and it caught shit on fire. Oh. And he was like a 14-year-old kid burned to death. And he wasn't the guy they were chasing. He was just a dude in there. And they were like, he didn't come out.
The fuck really? Out of here.
Yeah.
I swear, this sounds familiar. Like, did it just happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because I saw it, it was like, whatever. God, it seems weird that I don't remember where the hell it was, because somebody had said, like, blah, 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 burned a guy alive, blah, 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 burned. It's like, well, I don't know what city. I just burned a guy alive.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where it was.
Yeah, that stood out.
There was another one that a kid was running out of it was a stolen vehicle, I believe. But he was running away from the cops, and they were like, "Oh, stop, whatever." Well, the kid gets to the gas station.
Stop, cops or whatever.
Yeah, and fucking turns to like put his hands up and get down. And then as soon as he turns, like before he even turns, they were shooting him in the back. The bullets just happened to do it, get to him right when he turns around. Yeah. But he had his hands up and everything, and these cops blew him away, dude. I mean, it was on film and everything, and I don't even think they're going to get reprimanded for it. Nothing. They're just like, well, I guess he shouldn't have been running or whatever. And I'm like, this is just odd to be this way, right? Like, he's just running, and then he was going to put his hands up. And it wasn't like this to here, like you would think, like a gun. But this kid literally had him way up here. Yeah. And then they shot. It was like, oh, it's damning evidence there.
I know.
I would fucking like, but no.
He's like running like this the whole time.
But watch out, they'll shoot you in the back. They don't give a shit. There's no rules for the police department.
Maybe they thought that he had like fake arms up and his real arms were like in his coat.
Clearly, it's the only explanation.
Can you see him fighting that in court? Like, they could have been fake arms.
Or could not have been that fat. Those were fake hands.
It's fucking weird, man. That's flashbangs. Fucking burn them alive.
Burned alive.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That makes me want to like fucking slap the shit out of these police officers. Like, but they don't get locked up. Their budget gets increased as soon as they get defunded. We didn't move anywhere.
Training.
Definitely.
You got to pump them funding for training.
They do need better training.
They need better training, definitely. I don't know if they need more money for it. Good Lord.
I wonder, like, what their original budget. I would like to see, like, the readout as to what it's allocated for. And if a lot of people are getting bonuses and they're being overpaid and then blah, 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 whatever, and then there's no training, all right, we got a fucking problem, right? But if they are pumping the majority of the money into, like, training and better officers, better pensions and funds for the officers so that they want to help more. And better like sympathy classes or like empathy classes where you can connect with the community, whatever that's called. Yeah. And things like that. Okay, cool. But let's see be that transparent. If you're absolutely fucking like good to go with your conscience, fucking release those printouts and let us know where all your stuff. Like if a customer asks me right now, like how much like our percentage is and how much we feel like we deserve and all that. We've given a fucking full readout to customers to show them, like, you know, this is what we make. You have to fucking get
infiltrated.
I know, right?
I'm sure that it's all like tactical gear. Like,
oh yeah,
we gotta be protected from these
Albuquerque
maniacs.
SWAT team raids home utilizing
Mexico.
flashbangs that engulf the
I swear to God, I was gonna say that because when I read it, I remember I thought about Kylie.
Yeah, 14-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And Kip had posted a thing. It was like, why do they worry about my AR-15 or whatever? But then like under it, it was like, why do cops need this? And it was like this big fucking like SWAT looking tank thing or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that looks like Photoshop. But then somebody had posted one directly below it of like an actual one.
Yeah.
And then I thought, yeah, okay, yeah, cops don't need that.
No.
But at the same time, in extreme situations, it could be helpful.
Yeah, especially if you got an AR-15 pointing at them.
But, you know, then I thought, if I were a cop, I would be happy to have one in the case of like an extreme situation.
Yeah.
So it's like that kind of stuff, it's annoying because in a perfect world, it's helpful. Oh, I thought, well, why do they have those outside of Gotham?
No shit.
But, you know, in an increasingly, well, at least it seems to be an increasingly violent world, it's helpful. But if we can't trust the cops, then, you know, what the fuck?
Couldn't you just, like, bring the military in at that point?
Well, I mean, they're not just, like, on standby in every county.
Yeah, but you don't need that shit all the time.
Look. They fucking, that kid was
well, I'm just thinking like in terms of like if there was something extreme happening, let's say.
You needed them promptly.
You need them promptly, like in Die Hard, you know? If you're in a Die Hard situation, you don't want to wait for the feds to get there.
Let's just put it this way. They had a SWAT team following somebody who was an unlawful taking of a vehicle out of Santa Fe that was on a probation violation. They weren't after somebody who really needed SWAT. They were just bored. At that point, they're like, "No, we'll handle it. We have to give the tank a fucking bro."
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. That's why they were at that boy and all that shit. Yeah. Because it didn't need all that.
We're bored. It's this or donuts, and I'm full.
I'm full. I'm fresh out of donuts. I don't know, man. We don't need that shit.
Yeah. Because I just think like in terms of a situation where you need it and don't have it, it sucks, and the people involved are fucked. But then an abuse of it could equally fuck people.
Yeah, I can't imagine like just they don't need maybe like huge cities.
Maybe. When's the last time you heard that the military needed to come in?
I mean, but then you still have to do like maintenance. So then you are still putting all this extra money into it for something that you may not need.
Okay. So like, let's say like New York City, Chicago.
I'd say that's what I was thinking.
And LA.
Yeah.
And somewhere in Texas.
Yeah.
Just because it's Texas.
You might
can have
Waco
two.
Again. Yeah, hold on though. Right. So there's significant amount of studies that prove that if you increase the livelihood of your citizens, that there's a large increase of violent crimes and nonviolent crimes for that matter. The problem here is that they're pumping all this money into that and having that as a backup and having that on standby for no reason. If they would just focus their money, time, and effort into their citizens and making sure they're okay, making sure healthcare is good, and that they have these public programs for the the less fortunate, things like that. All that plays into
access to food and
where they don't have to struggle, and that's the problem here. The problem is that that's not what we put our money into. We're gonna wage a war against the people if they fucking get out of line.
Yeah.
And they've done it before.
I feel like as kids we were taught that, you know, the world is run by people with brains.
Yeah.
And when you realize it's not,
Yeah.
it's like, okay. These are just lazy idiots like the rest of the world.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Why do they have so much power? Yeah.
But, you know, who's going to do it if not them?
Someone else. Anybody else.
Good point.
The cat.
Give the cat rule. Over, just give her a town.
And
Start with a town.
And let her borrow fucking Coop's tie. She'll look fucking fly.
True.
She'll look great.
The bird problem will be solved in no time.
Dude, for sure. There'll be no birds.
Or mises.
No mises.
All right, man. I think that does it for episode 153. 154.
5.
6. We appreciate you getting this far. Appreciate you watching. If you have any comments on things that were brought up, please put it in the comments section. And have a great week or weekend whenever this video comes out. And thank you for your support. And
Happy 2022.
Yeah, right.
2020. Yeah.
2057.
2023.
Wildly Uninteresting Podcast.